Hey everyone, another scorching hot day down here on the south coast, but as someone said to me the other day, if you want to lose some weight, fat boy, you're going to have to walk in the heat, sweat that fat off. So I'm back at it. I've had the weekend off, been to Poole Harbour Festival, had a bit of a dance. I didn't really take it too easy, but yeah, so I thought, back on the road, burn off those calories, try and get some miles under me belt. First things to say, obviously, congratulations to the Lionesses, bringing football home for the first time in 56 years, going one step further than the men. Brilliant result. I can't say, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say that I've watched all of that stuff, because I didn't. Other stuff going on and I didn't get to watch it, but you know, I'm still pleased for those guys, chuffed at the recognition they got in terms of people going to watch the games and the media coverage he's getting. I think it's well deserved to see those guys actually achieving something, achieving the dreams that they've set out to do. Good lift for the country, something that the country could really do with at this moment in time. So great stuff, congratulations to them. I guess football-wise, Tottenham-wise, I suppose the main talking point is the game on Saturday against Jose Mourinho's Roma, and the fact that we lost our unbeaten record in the pre-season tournaments. Really a little bit disappointing, but is it really the end of the world? Is it really that bad that we've got to go into a frenzy about it? But some people really are still going right over the top. Listen, it's a pre-season friendly, and whilst from my point of view I would say it's quite disappointing the fact that we struggled so much to break that team down, knowing what was going to happen. We know Mourinho, we know how he plays, we know the type of football that he does. To not be able to break that down is a worry. You know, I don't want to go over the top about it, and I don't want to get all really worked up about it, but it is a worry. We can't pretend it isn't, because it still smacks of desperately needing an attacking midfield player, someone who's going to break that down, you know, break down those stubborn defences, because we know, like I said, we know what Mourinho was going to do. He was going to make it really difficult to play against. He was going to play a low block, invite us on. He knows what we're about. He knows about our counter-attacking abilities. He knows our players. So at the end of the day, he's going to play to his strengths, and he's going to know that we're going to get frustrated and everything's going to come from the wings, because nothing really can come centrally, because we don't have that kind of player who's going to unpick it. So probably inevitable, really, wasn't it, to be honest. But in terms of positives from the game, I thought Perisic looks really good. Lenglet, I thought, looks good, which is great to see. Two of the new guys coming in and picking up the pace. I thought Doherty had a decent game, all things considered, that he hasn't had many minutes. So it's good to see him back in the fold. I think, from what we can see, he's probably going to be his go-to guy for the right wing back position. I don't think Spence is going to be that man straight away. I think he's going to have to work really hard to get into Conte's good books and into his mind. I think he sees him maybe as one for the future, a bit like Sessegnon, more for development than anything. So I think he's going to be the guy to go to. I didn't think he had a particularly bad game. Overall, I thought that we did quite well. I think the interesting thing was the strength and the tenacity in the team. We seemed a lot tougher in terms of our tackling, in terms of our pressure, getting right in amongst it, not shying away, not being those nice boys that Mourinho so eloquently put it back in the All or Nothing Amazon Prime documentary. You know, he called it out that we were too nice, and sometimes you have to be horrible cunts. And it felt a little bit like in the last sort of couple of games we've shown that little bit more grit and determination to cause some trouble and not get bullied as much. Because to be fair, Roma did try to bully. They did try to put it amongst us. I mean, there was a couple of opportunities in that game that realistically, had they not been friendlies, probably would have given us a couple of free kicks and potentially a couple of penalties. But I think because it was a friendly and the ref is probably out of his depth a little, it didn't go our way, which is disappointing. But overall, I didn't think we were the worst team. I think we let ourselves down with a stupid set-piece goal against us that kind of closed the game off, and we knew after that was going to be it. We're not really going to get anywhere after that because Mourinho's not going to let you. So we huffed and we puffed and we pushed and we kept going, but we never actually got the result that we wanted in the end. So really disappointing end to it all. But that's it. That's a pre-season friendly. It wasn't particularly friendly. So we'll wait and see now for the first game against Southampton. Southampton are a bit of a bogey club for us. They have got the occasional good result, but they are also a team that can be really exposed, especially if you get on the front foot and you get at them quickly. So we've got a good feeling about that game. Unfortunately, I'm not there next Saturday. I have a prior engagement that clashed because they've brought the season forward, which I wasn't aware of, that I can't get out of. So I'm not going to be at the game. I'll watch it on the telly, but I won't be at the game itself. So I'm disappointed about that, but can't be helped. Then going into the Chelsea game, big test. That will be the one that really determines if we are making the right moves forward, because Chelsea are on a bit of a slump in terms of pre-season friendlies, and like I just said, it doesn't really mean an awful lot, but we know that they are struggling, their confidence is low. Tuchel's getting a bit arsey, which is always a good sign when your coaches are getting a bit arsey, that there's something underfoot that may be causing some distrust and division. Hopefully that's the case, and then we can get amongst them, because getting a big game out of the way early in the season is a good opportunity. So yeah, looking forward to the season starting, and then maybe I'll keep talking and walking, or walking and talking even, and just reviewing games rather than sitting in my little room and doing it, apart from the home games when I'll be in the car hopefully with my mate. Anyway, getting out of breath. So anyway, going back to the Roma game, I did think that we looked better once Bentancur came on, as opposed to Bissouma, who think he's got a lot of catching up to do. So that'll be interesting to see how that balances off, how quickly he's going to get back to his abilities of what we bought him for. You're going to be battling against Bentancur, I think, who had a really good game. So bad news as well. I hear about Skip getting injured, some kind of nasty cut on his foot. So hopefully not too difficult a chance of getting back to some kind of football very quickly after being out for so long. But this is all about playing catch up, getting fit, integrating and that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens. So I guess pre-season done, transfer window still open. Not sure how much more business we're going to do, if any. Maybe a few outgoings as we've discussed, but I guess now we'll just have to wait and see. But for me, I think the only place where I think we need strengthening now is an attacking midfield player, someone who's going to be able to unlock a difficult defence. But we'll see what happens, innit? Anyway, we'll move on and leave it there. Up the Spurs.